Do you feel like you or your partner is just emotionally unavailable? Like by the time you get home, the well is empty. The cup, there is nothing left to give. And yet people are asking you to be present, to be available, to give an emotional response that you don't have. Stay tuned and learn the 5 top reasons we are not present with our emotions and how to conquer them. Hi, I'm Jennifer Evans with Empowering Wellness Counseling Solutions, and I am a licensed mental health counselor and a brain coach, helping thousands of people overcome their trauma in order to live a happier, healthier, more purpose-driven life and create lasting change that allows them to live up to their potential. And today we are exploring the idea of this emotional avoidance, this emotional neglect. Trauma creates a lot of emotional neglect in relationships. In my couples masterclass series, we look at this. We have 27 lessons to build a new chapter in your love story. We look at foundation, we look at our side of the street and the dynamics we get into, and then we actually take all of that knowledge and all of that rebuilding neuroplasticity of the brain, and we're rebuilding our neurons and the pathways to actually create a new relationship dynamic. And the key foundation that's creating a new healthy relationship as we understand, are aware, accept, and then create, grieve in order to grow the past negative dynamic into the future. And a big part of that, 1/3 of it actually, 9 sessions, is all about emotions and regulating emotions and being emotionally resilient and emotionally aware. And a part of that, and a part of my interpersonal effectiveness workbook and that key step series, is this empathy algorithm. That so many people and more people are becoming less and less available emotionally. And the premise of the masterclass and what we're going to find out is why it's so hard is we weren't given the tools. From one of the earliest memories that we have back in implicit memory land, that means we don't have explicit recall of this. A child somewhere in your friend group and somewhere you were hanging out with cried. They had an emotion. The adult panicked, wondering what happened, and immediately blamed somebody. And so our implicit memory and understanding of what emotions are from the youngest of ages is emotions are bad and make you in trouble, and we shouldn't have them. And that is nobody's fault. The adults are panicking. The adults are trying to have a good time. The adults are in their own space and they feel shame and guilt that they weren't completely creating the bubble they want to create and they thought they would create for their child. There's nothing wrong with it, but because of the actions that happen so quickly, our brain implicitly says emotions are bad, don't have them. And so we suppress them. But when we suppress them, then at some point in time, it becomes too much. And we release them. We just let them out. We do not care anymore. There are no forks in the bag, and we are just going to put it all out there. Every emotion we've ever had, here it comes. And so that is why it's so hard to be present, because we don't know what to do with them, and we have a negative connotation with them. And if you look at those feedback loops, those triangles, Jen and your triangles, come on now, you'll see that performance, that language of discipline, that performance anxiety is a part of it. And as we are having emotions, we are trying to perform, we are restricting the rest and the pleasure. And then as soon as we shut off that performance brain, we rot. And as we rot, we don't want to be available. We want to shut the whole world off. We let the whole world in for work, and now we're home and we want to let the whole world out. Leaving our partner to feel as if they cannot have their own emotions, let alone that they don't have a partner and a spouse to be emotionally available for them. And so what we want to do is to be able to navigate that. So this video, we're going to talk about those 5 reasons we aren't present with our emotions. And stay tuned tomorrow. We're going to actually get into what the emotional algorithm is. So one reason that we cannot be present with our emotion is a control bias. It makes emotions feel dangerous rather than informative. Emotions are meant to be a part of what am I trying to say? Emotions are meant to be there to let you know kind of what is happening. It's supposed to have kind of some deeper, complex ways of being able to deal with the here and now. It's a way to grieve. It's a way to process. It's a way to be present. But because we have that implicit messaging, and think about it, what's the first emotion that we have? We cry. We cry in order to say, Mommy, Daddy, caregiver, I'm hungry. We cry, caregiver, change my diaper. We cry, I'm not well. Our first use of emotion, and the first time we are starting to identify attachment and what is safe and what is not safe, is we cry and we see if our needs get met. It's the way we communicate is through emotion. It's informative. But then that next time that we get a little bit older and someone starts to cry, we start to think, wow, maybe we're in trouble. Or maybe we didn't get our needs met when we cried before. And maybe this is even compounding. But emotions are meant to be informative. They're meant to share something, to have a mind-body connection that something is not right. And I have stress here that I need to work through. That dichotomy that you can't be logical and emotional. And what we find in that masterclass, that couples masterclass, so get that free 15-minute insight if you want to know more. It's a really comprehensive class. You are going to have a whole new look at what relationships are and really have a lot of faith in the relationship you have. And it's logic, it's analytical, which gives a buy-in, better buy-in to both parties. And so we have this dichotomy that if I am logical, then I am not emotional. And emotional people are not logical. And what we learn in this class is response over reaction. That we can be logical and action-oriented while using the wise mind and accounting for our emotional response, not reaction. And then we have this idea of our performance identity trap. Performance identity trap, which will link our self-worth exclusively to our achievement. And what that is doing for our emotions is, if you look back at part 2 of Key Steps to Live a Healthier and Happier Life, Emotional Regulation, chapter 2, because mindfulness is the foundation to wellness, so we always go to mindfulness first. But the very first chapter is emotional regulation. And under emotional regulation, we explore invalidating environments. And in invalidating environments, we see 7 invalidating environments. Performance-driven environment is a part of it. And that performance-driven environment says that your achievement is external validation. And we don't have any crybabies in baseball. There's no crying in baseball. Performance, identity trap. And the reality is that emotions do not make you weak. They are key indicators, and when you can balance them and you can be aware of them and you don't avoid them, because avoidance puts you in the negative dynamic and you are vulnerable and susceptible when you're in that negative dynamic. You can outperform and outmaneuver anybody, especially in a stressed state. Talk about professional wanting up. Talk about this hidden secret to conquering professional growth in high stress situations. Manage those emotions and see what it does. You go back to about 9 weeks ago, you'll see a lot of videos on mastering stress and how to basically create a grapple hook and step towards success because of how to master stress management. Some great videos in there. And then when we have trauma, we fear emotional death. You'll hear a lot of people who has extensive trauma to kind of call the brain a Pandora's box. And they have a misconception that feeling will overwhelm them and their ability to have rational thought. And they're so afraid that if they have one feeling, they'll have all the feelings. And they will not be able to create a trap to stop the feelings. So they just don't have feelings. And yes, the amygdala and the hippocampus all have interconnections. But what you're doing is, and what you don't realize you're doing, is you fearing emotion. It's like a brick wall. It's a distressing thought or feeling. So what are you doing every time you fear an emotion? Every time you have an emotion, you fear it. You avoid it. And when you avoid it, we're in the negative dynamic. And what happens in the negative dynamic? All of your stress and trauma comes up, creates a filter and a lens. You look at life and interact life through that lens of what you're avoiding, that trauma, and you perceive life through that lens, causing perceived expectation and an explicit emotional reaction and emotional experiences, right? Reactionary emotions, emotional expression. That's double the emotion that you're having because you're avoiding. And remember, that's 13 to the power of 3 of layers that you've just opened up of double emotion coming at you. That's a lot of emotion, and all you want to do is avoid it. Really don't recommend it. That's where coaching and therapy comes in, is you learn key steps and tricks so that you can manage your emotion. And the 5th and final way we prevent ourselves from having emotions is this historical disconnection patterns that served as protection, but it has limited our growth. So we've learned to distance ourselves. We've seen where there are other people who have shut down an emotion and we don't know what to do with it. Emotion, especially another invalidating emotional environment, is this chaotic or unpredictable. We don't know what to do with emotions. We see people have emotions and they're intense. We see people who don't have emotions and they're so reserved and you can't really get to them and you don't feel validated by them. And so we don't know what to do with it. We don't know what to do with it. And so again, with the grief thing, just being present with emotions, owning your side of the street. You're allowed to say, having some emotion right now. I don't even know why. being all tearful, like something about, I can't even say the word, disappointment, is really upsetting me. I want to do better. I'm going to do better. I'm going to figure out what this is. I'm going to get back with you with a game plan, because I'm an anxious overachiever. I will come back with you at a game plan. I will have a 10-step series of how we're going to change this. I guarantee you that. And so this is what emotion is it's something that we have feared for so long. It's something that has given us so much implicit messaging about what it is and what it isn't, and not really sure what to do with it. The answer is be present with it. Take time with it. Find the logic in it. Watch the next video. So subscribe and stay tuned to learn what that emotional algorithm, that empathy algorithm is, of the direct pattern of being present in order to make people feel validated and to be able to stay in the here and now, even when you feel uncomfortable and all you want to do is shut down. I'm Jennifer Evans with Empowering Wellness Counseling Solutions. Please go to my website, counselingwellnesssolutions.com. Click and get a free 15-minute wellness insight and let me help you find your emotional journey. Thanks for watching. Today's insights helped you to reflect more on insights on how to live more intentionally in your relationships or in your professional or personal growth. Please give this video a like and thumbs up and share it with others who could also use the insight and support. Each week, I dive into these real strategies that are coming out of my book, Key Steps to Live a Happier and Healthier Life, Part 3, Interpersonal Effectiveness. So please be sure to subscribe and to join us each week to learn more about how to create deeper, more meaningful connections, set healthier boundaries, and live a purpose-driven life. All of the principles I teach in my workbook. Your growth matters, so thank you for being here. Let's keep building a happier and healthier life together, one step at a time.